Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Thursday, February 2nd, 2023. An off-road vehicle crash in Johnson Valley left one passenger dead and two others with injuries. According to a report from the California Highway Patrol, a Polaris RZR with 3 people inside was driving northbound in the Better Sand Dunes area. The vehicle overturned and rolled over several times. Everyone in the vehicle was wearing helmets and harnesses. The rear passenger, a 28-year-old woman from Yucaipa, sustained major injuries and was airlifted from the scene to a Morongo Basin ambulance where she was pronounced dead. The 30-year-old driver and 24-year-old front passenger sustained moderate and major injuries, respectively, and were transported to Desert Regional Medical Center. The cause of the crash is under investigation by the CHP. Neither alcohol nor drugs appear to be a factor. The Spring 2023 edition of the Joshua Tree Gem and Mineral Show has been canceled. The Sportsman Club organization president Wayne Hamilton confirmed that the event was canceled for the spring, but that he is working to secure a new location for the popular event in the fall. Hamilton said that an agreement could not be reached between the new owners of the property at 6225 Sunburst Avenue in Joshua Tree, the vendors, and the Sportsman's Club organization. Hamilton explained that when the Sportsman's Club organization owned the property, they were able to take a financial loss on the Joshua Tree Gem and Mineral Show, but that the costs and logistics of continuing the event at the same location were more complicated than in previous years. The Joshua Tree Gem and Mineral Show has been a high desert tradition for more than 50 years and was held at the Sportsman's Club. The building that housed the Sportsman's Club and its surrounding property was sold in May 2022 and is currently operated as the Joshua Tree RV and Campground by independent owners. Though the Spring 2023 event is officially canceled, Hamilton was optimistic about the show's return to a new location in Joshua Tree later this year, saying, "I'm pretty sure we'll have it worked out for the fall." Another scam is hitting the Morongo Basin, this time targeting people looking for long-term rental properties in 29 Palms. Robert Hayden joins us with the story.
The San Bernardino Sheriff's Office reports that 2 separate victims said they found and applied for a rental property in 29 Palms through Craigslist. After filling out an online application and speaking with who they thought was a realtor on the phone, they were approved for the rental and were asked to secure their deposit through an online payment system like Zelle or Cash App. After submitting the payment and getting a move-in date, the scammer disappears with the money, disconnecting their phone line and leaving the victim without a home to move into or their deposit. Both victims lost approximately $2,700 each. In one of the cases, the victims showed up on the property they thought they were renting on their move-in day, only to find the person they were in contact with was unreachable and the property having no records of their application. Long-term rental properties in the Morongo Basin are already scarce, with short-term vacation rentals swallowing up the majority of affordable housing. This can put extra pressure on locals who are just looking for a place to rent, and the scammers use that to their advantage by asking to send the deposit immediately upon application approval so the renter can secure the property. This is just the latest in a series of scams hitting the high desert. However, they all have one thing in common, and that's sending money through an online app like PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, or Cash App. The Sheriff's Department wants to remind everyone to always be wary of using anonymous apps and payment systems for doing business. Most legitimate realtors and business professionals will usually meet you in person and use more legitimate forms of payment. You can see this story at Z107.7fm.com for other scams hitting the basin, and we want to remind you to always take your time with any transaction that primarily occurs online, as once money is transferred, there's usually little recourse in recovering it. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Robert Hayden.
The Morongo Valley Community Services District Board of Directors will be holding a special session meeting tonight over Zoom at 7 p.m. On tonight's agenda, Fire Chief James Brakebill will be signing the legal counsel agreement to retain the services for Best, and Krieger for the Morongo Valley CSD, and a new business action item where any agreement, document, or matter of business that has been approved by the Morongo Valley CSD Board of Directors may be executed by either the General Manager or the Board of Directors President. To attend this meeting, see a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. The Morongo Basin Healthcare District Board of Directors will hold 2 back-to-back meetings tonight At 6 p.m., the board will hold the first of two public hearings on their plan to transition from at-large to district-based elections, bringing the healthcare district in line with the High Desert's other publicly funded government bodies, most of which have switched to district-based voting in the last several years. The regularly scheduled board meeting will begin at 6:30 p.m., where the board is expected to discuss the proposed voting change and receive various reports from staff. The meetings can be attended in person at the district's Yucca Valley office, located at 6530 La Contenta Road, Suite 400, or online via a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. The second public hearing will be held on March 2nd. Written comments must be received at or prior to the meeting time and date and can be sent via a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. The Rotating Players Improv Troupe brings the funny to Theater 29 on February 11th. Arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas lets you find out whose line it is anyway.
Theater 29 proudly announces the premiere live performance of their new resident improvisational troupe, the Rotating Players Improv. If you're familiar with the TV show Whose Line Is It Anyway, then you get the idea. Unscripted and off-the-hook comedy by multi-award-winning High Desert improvists Jericho McNeltier, Graham Cooley, Benjamin Bees, and Charles Harvey. Joining the crew are special guests Dancy Glover, Jesse Worstel, and Ian Ferris. The performance is February 11th at 7 p.m. at Theater 29. Tickets are available now at theater29.org. Performance will be PG-13 appropriate. Reporting for Z107.7, this is arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas.
The Animal Action League is holding a low-cost pet clinic tomorrow where you can get your furry friends spayed, neutered, chipped, or vaccinated. The clinic will run from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Animal Action League's main office at 62762 29 Palms Highway, right by the dinosaurs. Appointments are required for spaying and neutering and can be made by calling 760-366-1100, and you can get a full schedule and contact information by visiting this story at Z107.7fm.com. The great works of the Yucca Valley Seroptimus Club will be featured on the Z107.7 Up Close show with Gary Daigneault this Friday. The goal of Seroptimus is to improve the lives of women and girls around the world through programs leading to social and economic empowerment. Members Shelly Licata, Linda Pano, and Wanda Statham will talk about their local programs, scholarships, and recognitions. Call in live this Friday starting at 10 a.m. and find out more about Seroptimus, women at their best, working to help other women to be their best. And finally, Robert Hayden rejoins us with a look at sports.
The Yucca Valley High School boys soccer team played a home game against Desert Hot Springs High School yesterday. Junior varsity lost 9-0, but keeping at it all game long. Freshman goalkeeper Tim Wahlberg had 7 saves. Junior defender Cody Staten and freshman midfielder Jeremiah Meza played well. Coach Jorge Rodriguez named forward David Abukan as player of the game, saying he played hard and never gave up. Varsity lost 7-0. Forward Landon Stitt had a few scoring opportunities. Sophomore midfielder Dylan Delaney and junior Cameron Barth both had a solid game. Coach Rodriguez named captain Chaz Velour as player of the game for remaining positive and encouraging his teammates. The 5 seniors on the team were honored last night as part of senior night. Coach Rodriguez thanked all the families of the students for their support and commitment. Yesterday, the Yucca Valley High School Lady Trojan varsity basketball team secured their 4th consecutive Desert Valley League championship with an 80-19 victory over the host Desert Hot Springs Golden Eagles. The Yucca girls completed their 14-0 undefeated league championship campaign by jumping out to a 50-15 halftime lead against the Golden Eagle team with a well-balanced scoring attack, with every Lady Trojan player scoring a point. Junior Cadence Tarrant finished her remarkable regular season, scoring a game-high 23 points. She was followed by sophomore Taylor Monroy, who scored in 16 points, and senior Jaylee Schreiber, who had 11 points. Senior Ashley Lowe pumped in 10 points, while fellow seniors Malia Ullery and Julia Castillo scored 7 and 6 points respectively. Freshman Tegan Moon added a 3-point basket, and sophomore Cece Gilmore netted 2 points. Junior varsity team call-ups sophomore Tori Simpson and freshman Lyrics Thompson each notched 1 point for the squad. The team now waits to find out their first-round playoff opponent when the CIF playoff brackets are released on Sunday. They finished the regular season with a 22-6 overall record and will host a first-round game either Thursday, February 9th or Saturday, February 11th. I'm Robert Hayden, and that's your local sports.
Thank you, Robert. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 local news, I'm Jeff Harmetz.